Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us on the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Variety Talk Show Series. We are live, coming at you live, and it's so good to see all your smiley faces. Hope everybody's doing well. You know, this is a place to come. If you're not having a good day, we are here to entertain, inspire, inform, just like those traditional talk shows have done over the years on television that everybody grew up watching and enjoying. We've got an amazing guest joining us from Portland, Oregon. He is incredible. Darryl Purpose is in the house. Well, maybe not this house, his house, in his home studio. Famed fingerstyle guitarist, singer, songwriter extraordinaire, and he's actually in the Blackjack Hall of Fame as well. Isn't that cool? His purpose really is telling a good story through music. As such as he learned to do that really early in life as a teenager. He hitchhiked to Las Vegas, where he began a career as a professional blackjack player. He's been called the best and fastest card counter, and he was inducted into the Blackjack Hall of Fame in 2010. In his 20s, he walked from Los Angeles, California to Washington, D.C. for peace and continued on to walk then Soviet Union. Yes, he began performing music on the marches, which included participating in the very first outdoor stadium concert in the history of Russia, produced by Bill Graham, featuring Santana, James Taylor, Bonnie Raitt, and many others. And in his 30s, Darryl began his current vocation as a performing songwriter. He has released 8 albums, original music. The last 2, Still the Birds and Next Time Around, spent weeks at #1 for airplay on Roots Music Report. He's also inspired by the love of Friends, the teachings of the beauty of trees and water and land and mountains and so much more. He's in, again, Portland, Oregon on the West Coast. We are very excited to welcome him to the show, and we're going to have him join us in just a second. There's just a little bit about our fantastic guest, and he's going to perform live for us too, folks, which is really, really cool. He's got his guitar poised. We just did a little bit of a sound check before going live. Now, gang, if you would like to comment during the show, well, the comments are available in our JMS chat room. The chat room is open. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is the channel you're watching right now. And that is a gift for all of our subscribers. When you subscribe to our channel, and there's no cost for that, you can comment live in the JMS chat room. Also, when you subscribe to the YouTube channel, don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss any of the amazing notifications that we have for all of our special shows, episodes, and lots more, our live shows, so you can participate, because I know you guys like to participate when the show is live. So make sure you do that. Click that red button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell so you never miss any of our episodes. And that really helps us big time when you subscribe as well. And thanks to those of you who have. Don't forget to give this episode and all the episodes you enjoy a thumbs up. That's right, a hearty thumbs up. We love that. And leave a comment for us on the YouTube channel as well. Lots of comments already built up here. We say thank you so very, very much. We're going to check in to some of those there and see how everybody's doing. I'm looking at them now, and there's a bunch of them there already. Good to see everybody. Welcome, JMS Lovity Squad and everybody else who is watching around the world. If this is your first time watching the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Variety Talk Show Series, we welcome you. And there are almost 700 episodes you can binge, watch, and enjoy. That's a lot of lovity. That's a lot of talking. That's a lot of cool times with all of you and you and you and you. Let's welcome my special guest, Darryl Purpose, in the studio, poised at the guitar, live and direct from Portland, Oregon. Darryl, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, Jim. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you today?
I'm feeling good. Thank you.
What's the weather like there in Portland today?
Well, surprise, it's gray, Jim.
You could have been doing this in London or Dublin.
Right.
Great, but positive, right? It's always positive in Portland.
It's beautiful. Oregon's beautiful. You know, a lot of green.
Now, you told me that originally you hail from beautiful Colorado, huh?
Yeah, I think of Colorado as my home. I spent almost 20 years at 8,400 feet.
Wow.
Right in the Front Range there, Netherlands,
Yes.
Colorado.
What was that like? Did
It
take your breath away?
It took my breath away. It was unbelievable. It taught, I actually grew up in LA. So
Yeah.
In fact, I think it's our friend Paul Zolo that put
Paulo
us
Zolo,
together.
he's amazing, isn't he?
He's incredible. We wrote a lot of songs together, and he is the one. Hey, Toby, good to see you here. I see Toby often on my Thursday live streams.
Hmm.
But anyway, I was going to say Colorado. It really taught me how much we were one with nature. Because you live up there at 8,400 feet, and you just cannot deny. Hey, Michael Tisserand, good to see everybody.
Yep.
But you just cannot deny that you are just part of it. You're part of the grand scheme up there. Those mountains just scream out, come walk up here, and the trees and the sky that it just does in Colorado. Just does amazing things in Colorado.
How does it inspire you to make music? As much as you are a performer, you're also a songwriter. So how does being in these beautiful areas of the United States inspire your music?
I would say it just colors it, because I like to tell stories. But I also am a pretty hopeful guy, pretty optimistic guy, pretty positive guy, and so beauty really, holds that up, that positiveness, I think,
Yeah.
and that comes through in the songs, I think.
How do you describe your style?
Oh, I'm a folk singer.
Yeah. Yeah. And so who are some of the folks that maybe inspired you along the way?
Yeah, well, I probably listened to growing up. I listened to Paul Simon and Dan Fogelberg and Jackson Brown. Those were some of my more serious influences. And when I after that, Bruce Cockburn, Richard Thompson
Mm,
influenced me on the guitar, especially. And I came to know Pete Seeger later
you
in my
did, huh?
life, and I just call him the greatest American ever. And there's nobody more inspiring than that guy.
Mm.
So yeah, those were some of my some of the people that I followed.
We were talking about Peter, Paul, and Mary, who I had the pleasure of interviewing multiple times on PBS through the years of their specials. You had an opportunity to have interactions with Peter, Paul, and Mary as well. And of course, Mary is greatly missed to this day. And Paul is, I believe, up in Maine, and Peter's in New York. Tell us about some of the cool interactions you've had with Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Well, we were walking across the country for peace in the late 80s. We walked from Los Angeles to Washington, D.C. And Peter heard about that, and he really showed up for us. We, about halfway through, we got a sound system there. We started playing songs, for the marchers and at rallies and churches and schools. And we were parked in Cleveland one night, and all our equipment got stolen.
Did it really?
And Peter showed up. He said, "Hey, come meet me at this, at this warehouse in New York City, and I will give you all my old stuff."
Wow.
And so we went there, and he filled up our van with new stuff. And so it was a real hero, And he also, started the Kerrville Folk Festival too. So quite a guy.
When we would have him in the studio at PBS, he was a lightning bolt. He would be the phones, especially if it was during the PBS pledge drives, he would be in the studio as a guest we would interview as well. And he would run from phone to phone. Hey, how are you? You're listening from where? Thank you for your support. Hey, how are you? Thank you for your support. He was incredible. You didn't need to have him on any sort of like string. You knew not to put him on a string because he was going to work the phones and work the studio and create this energy that was incredible and all from the heart. And I think one of the things that was a giveaway was dinner for 10 at his apartment in New York City. And then there was another one Mary Travers was in, and I believe it was a dinner for 12 that she cooked at her home in Connecticut. Can you imagine?
Wow. That would be really something, huh?
Yes, exactly. Michael is here and says, thanks for
Yeah.
having Darryl on your show. He's one of our great talents and warmest humans. And that's what we like, Michael. That's what we're all about here on the Jim Master Show Live.
Yeah.
Nice to have Michael here, and really, really cool comment. Lots of welcomes coming in from our lovely squad, those who are new to the show and those who are regulars who are here all the time, day in and day out. We love that. Tell us about the room that you're in. It looks really, really snazzy, my friend. We'll do a full screen.
This is my office in, I'm kind of in downtown Portland, and I remember coming to look at this house in last July. I moved in August, and one of the things I saw is I saw this office space, and you can only see kind of half of it. You know, if you look this way, it's a little more messy. But if you look that way, you get a look at my bookcase. And I just walked into this room and I thought, you know, I could get some stuff done here. I could write my book here, is what I thought. I could write some music here, and I feel really comfortable here. And so now I've just started, in this era of live streaming from here.
So I see a lot of cool things on the shelves behind you. Tell us about what we see there.
What are you interested in? Let's see. My 13-year-old friend, Medina, wrote this book. Storybook. This is available on Amazon. She's 13. She wrote it when she was 11, actually, but quite impressive. What else do we have up here? Let me see. How about
this is kind of like Edward R. Murrow, Person to Person,
of Joe Biden's induction, and Steve Nash, my favorite person in the whole world, happens to play basketball. So a few things. And you know what? If I don't put these on, Jim, I can't hear you. So I'm going to put these back on. I'm not like tech savvy, the way I know.
You just make the music. You make the music. Yeah, I was saying this was kind of like a years back on CBS when Edward R. Murrow would go person to person. Now we're at the home of Jerry Lewis in Beverly Hills. Jerry, tell us about the living room and the kids and the dog and the cat. In this case, we're at the home of Darryl Purpose. So early on for you, how did you know that guitar was the key instrument? Do you play other instruments? And what were some of the early instruction, teaching, and inspiration for you growing up, Darryl?
Well, my mother gave me a guitar when I was 13. She also gave me a book called Beat the Dealer. She put it in my Christmas stocking when I was 16, and I have since forgiven her for that. I went off to Las Vegas and became a professional blackjack player as a teenager. But I've forgiven her because she also gave me my first guitar, right?
So I was going to say the yin and the yang.
Yeah. You know what? You were asking about my bookshelf. I just thought about Michael Tisserand, who you put his comment up. He is the author of The Kingdom of Zydeco, the history of Zydeco music, an award-winning, Taylor Deems award-winning book on music and the history of Zydeco.
Oh, Michael, you're welcome to come on as a guest anytime. We could talk about the book. That would be fantastic. That's awesome. That is really, really cool, huh?
Yeah, no, he's a great author, a guy that makes a living writing books. My hero.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So you were saying your mother, the guitar, the blackjack. There's a whole other thing that I mentioned in the introduction is the blackjack scenario. You're like one of the world-renowned blackjack players, counters in the Hall of Fame. Tell us about that aspect of Darryl Purpose that the folks who know you for the music might not be aware of.
Well, as I say, my mother put that book in my Christmas stocking, and I went off to Las Vegas, and I quickly got in with some people like Ken Houston, who might be the world's most famous card counter. He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and 60 Minutes did a segment on him, and I became sort of his team trainer and his partner for a short while, and ended up running my own blackjack teams and traveling around the world. Got asked to lead casinos on 6 continents, and then at some point, I just decided I wanted to play music. I felt like that meant more to me. Casinos they're a tough place to make a living. It's loud and it's bright. And it's stressful.
It is, right? Exactly. Yes. Have you been to the East Coast ones, to Foxwoods, Mohegan Sun, and Connecticut, or any of the Atlantic City casinos?
I've pretty much been to all of them, Jim.
All of them you have. You have. Yeah. Do you have favorites, or can you not have favorites?
I don't have favorites because it was always just a job, So I don't know. I've traveled a lot. I've been to a lot of casinos in the Caribbean and a lot of casinos in Europe. And I know my friend and I were talking the other day. We were talking about what makes you worldly, and I said, being asked, how many countries have you been asked to leave in that no longer exist? And so I started lining them up. The USSR, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia.
You have quite an exit strategy.
There you go. You got to know where the door is, Jim.
Not only your exit, but their exit.
There you go. Yeah.
That is funny. Tell us about the fingerstyle guitar method for those watching who might not know what that is, how that works. It is quite a unique style, and of course, it's something that's been a claim to fame for you. How do you describe it?
Well, I listen to people and then try to emulate them, so, I knew some chords. I could play some chords, and that's all fine. And, you strum along. But then you hear somebody like Richard Thompson play, or Bruce Coburn, and you think, oh, wow, this could be even better. And so you turn on the basketball game and you turn the sound down, and you just play over and over again, You play for hours and hours and hours, and that's what happens. You get to 10,000 hours, and you can actually play the guitar, not just strum chords.
So I was going to say, so the physical movement of the fingers, is it sort of like a strumming, a picking? How do you describe the actual physical movements to make it sound so smooth and mellow, almost effortless?
Honestly, I do a thing with my right hand. I was influenced by my friend Mark Josephs, who is sadly no longer with us, but he taught me this thing with my right hand, and sometimes it's kind of between strumming and picking. And honestly, Jim, I don't really understand it, so I can't explain it. It just happens.
It flows out of you.
I can just do it.
Yeah, I can just do it. What would you consider for you, one of those big breaks, those big opportunities that came your way that got people to realize you were really talented, really good, and you were committed and all in? Is there one or two pivotal moments in your life, Darryl, that set the stage for the career?
Well, I remember very early, I was trying to figure out a way to how I would get into this. What would be my end to becoming a national touring singer-songwriter and actually making a living at it? And I figured out that a lot of these folk festivals had song contests. So you could send one of your songs, and if they chose you, they might choose 10 people of the hundreds of songs that they got. Those 10 people would be invited to come to the festival. And then you'd play your songs at the festival, and they'd pick one winner. And I won quite a few of those right off the bat, including Sisters, Oregon, which is not that far from here. And I do remember that. I was, I didn't know what I had to offer really, but a guy named Dave Carter, one of my favorite songwriters, was the judge that year, and he picked me. And so I figured he had pretty good taste, and we became fast friends. But because I won, I got to play that night in the auditorium, with 500 people, and Chris Smither and Pat Donahue and John McEwen was there, so I got to play in the concert with them, and I got to play my one song that won the song contest. So I think I played my song, Mr. Schwinn. It was still all new to me, the lights, the stage, and I played my song, Mr. Schwinn, and I walked back the maze of hallways into the green room and started putting my guitar away. And John McEwen, he says, "Oh, you sound great. You can come out and play with me. Come out and sing with me." John McEwen's from the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band.
Oh yeah, sure.
They did Mr. Bojangles and such.
Yeah.
And so, and I said, I can't. I got to drive to Idaho. I got a gig tomorrow. So I have to leave. And I started putting my guitar away, closing it up, picking up some finger sandwiches for the road,
Unintended finger sandwiches.
right. It wasn't, but that's good. I like that. And so right then some guy comes running into the the green room, and he says, Darryl Purpose, where are you? He says, you got to come back out. They haven't stopped applauding. And so
That's terrific. Yeah.
that was like my first. You asked for that moment. That's
Yes.
my moment, really, where I thought, okay, maybe I do have something to offer.
That this is something exactly. We actually have a clip here. We'd love to show. It is the Mr. Schwinn. Did you want to set this up at all, or was that pretty much the setup?
I think this is this is in California.
Yeah.
In a backyard amphitheater, and I'm playing with a guy named Gabriel Wheaton. He's just a great fiddler, and this is a song I wrote with Robert Morgan Fisher called Mr. Schwinn. Same song, actually.
It's the same song, exactly, right? Let's check it out, gang, and we'll be back with Darryl Purpose here on the Jim Masters Show Live.
Thank you both.
Mr. Schwinn was as thin as a pelican's grin, and I took him my bike when the wheel wouldn't spin, when the wheel wouldn't spin, or the gear wouldn't shift. For fixing a bike, the man had a gift. They were stashed in the back of his waterfront shack, his and her bikes, perfectly matched, like a groom and bride, waiting to take their honeymoon ride. He'd say one of these bikes is more than a twin, as he pumped up the tires, polished the rim. I'm saving my Mrs. Schwinn. Yes, the wires and the tires filled me with desire, and the sprockets and streamers were truly admired by all kinds of folks who watched as he carefully tightened the spokes. Yes, the chrome really shone, but if truth be known, at the end of the day, he went home alone. Yes, he went home alone by way of the pier, and he watched the tide turn and the sun disappear. He'd say one of these bikes is more than a twin, as he weld the chain, polish the rim. I'm saving it, my Mrs. Schwinn. He'd say one of these bikes is more than a twin, as he tested the brakes, polished the rim. I'm saving it, my Mrs. Schwinn. Yesterday was the day that I heard someone say the old man bicycle shop passed away. Mr. Schwinn passed away, and my wife and I cried, 'cause he never did take that honeymoon ride. 'Twas with grim discipline that the town buried him, and the gravestone revealed that his name wasn't Schwinn. No, his name wasn't Schwinn. And I'll tell you with pride, he gave me the groom, and my wife the bride. Mr. Schwinn was as thin as a pelican's grin. And I took him my bike when the wheel wouldn't spin, when the wheel wouldn't spin or the gear wouldn't shin. For fixing the bike, the man had
That was fantastic. That was great.
Same shirt, same shirt,
just for us. That's authenticity. That's truth in advertising.
And what's crazy is that was filmed. That was just somebody sitting out there in the front row with an iPhone. That was filmed on the iPhone. Did you see the dog running by?
Yes.
It was outdoor. It was an outdoor venue.
That is cool. So, what's really cool too is some of the story that I mentioned earlier about the amount of miles that you did and others walking from Los Angeles to DC, and then you also walked in the Soviet Union. Tell us about all of that and the first ever outdoor stadium concert in the history of Russia with Santana, James Taylor, Bonnie Raitt, and many others. That must have been an extraordinary opportunity, but one of those incredible pinch me moments for you as well.
Absolutely. And, it started with the Great Peace March for global nuclear disarmament. We signed up for this thing to walk from LA to DC, and they promised us, portable showers, portable porta potties, and, they were going to fly Jackson Browne in every night, do a little concert for us, fly him away. Anyway, there was lots of promises, and we got into the desert, Barstow, California. We walked from LA to Barstow, and the organizer of the walk flew out on a helicopter and told us that we could all go home. There was no more money. And a bunch of us, maybe like 300 or 400 of us, decided we were going to walk to Washington, D.C. anyway. And so everybody did what they could.
Yeah.
The people that could cook, started up the kitchen truck, and the people that could take the distribution caps, what do they call that, out of the engines to prevent them from taking back our
distributor
vehicles.
Caps.
Right,
Yeah.
distributor caps.
Yes.
Right. And so that's where the musicians just picked up our guitars and we started writing songs about why we were walking, and we end up playing those songs all the way across the country and getting the attention of a lot of our heroes, people like Holly Near and Graham Nash and Jackson Browne, James Taylor, Casey Kasem. We met Yoko Ono. Yoko Ono came out with Sean and said John would approve, and the ultimate was Pete Seeger. We met Pete Seeger. He came out to Red Rocks. You were talking about Red Rocks.
Red Rocks, yeah.
And he came out. We were camped in the parking lot of Red Rocks, hundreds of us. And Pete Seeger came out, and they told us, his people, as to whatever extent he had people, but they told us, well, don't expect Pete to sing too much. He's kind of old. This was 1986. So he said, don't expect too much from Pete. He's kind of old,
Right.
And, don't expect him to sing too much. And he gets out there and it's raining like crazy.
And he's just nailing it.
Oh, we cram into this, 200 people cram into this tent, and he just leads us in song all night long. And that was just the first time that he came. He came out to support us all the way across.
How long did this go on for? How long were these journeys, this time period?
This one was 8.5 months from LA to DC. We walked 15 miles a day, 6 days a week.
How did you prepare for that? What was the routine like to prepare for something like that? Besides ordering a lifetime supply of Dr. Scholl's.
Well, I was going to say that, there were some challenges, but mostly you can walk 15. You can do that. You can walk 15 miles a day. Yes. It did get hot and cold, and dirty.
What was the craziest part? Like, where were you where we got a little dicey or the weather got wild? Do you recall?
Right. Well, it was probably the desert in California right at the beginning of it when we didn't know what we had. And they had some experts come out and say we were going to be just walking along and we'd fall down some mine shaft and nobody would miss us. I don't know who those people were, but we were like, no, we're not going to fall down a mine shaft. But some people got
That was everybody's mother's probably saying that.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I like that. Certainly mine. Certainly my mother.
The mine shafts, the booby traps, all that. The boogie monster.
But some people got hypothermia right around then, and it was a challenge, and we did have to buck up and reorganize when the original organization that was sponsoring the march stopped. We had to do it ourselves at that point. So we reorganized for a couple of weeks there in the desert. Of course, the musicians went on ahead to Las Vegas, where I had a condo.
Did you?
And we started writing some songs, and preparing for the next 8 months across the country when we would be playing these songs all the way. And then the following year, the Soviet Union.
Do you have a preference? I mean, what speaks to your heart first? Is it songwriting and then you're a singer and musician, or is it the musician, performer, then songwriter? Is there any one, or are they equal?
It's all about songwriting for me.
All about the songwriting.
Yeah. I host a songwriting retreat each year called Camp Ned, named for Nederland, Colorado, but we do it now in Occidental California in the Redwoods since I moved from Colorado. But I love songwriting. I've just always loved songwriters. Even different kinds of music. I still love the songwriters.
What would be in your iPod or your boombox or on your stereo system? And I still have all those. Right now, you would be listening to some other material that you listen to. You're the music man, but yet you probably listen to a variety of things, huh?
A lot of people you've never heard of, like the Weepies and Heather Maloney, and but and some people that you have heard of, like Sean Colvin. Still listen to Sean Colvin and the Indigo Girls, and so much. There's so much music. It never runs out. It's always there.
I know you mentioned folk. Have you toyed with other genres along the way as well?
As long as they write their own songs, I do. So, like a guy like Paul Westerberg from The Replacements, I know is a big fan of his. And I'm trying to think of like currently who there is, but nothing off genre is popping into my head. Right.
How about session work, behind the scenes session work for productions and commercials, different things? Jingles.
There's like two kinds of guys when you get a guitar as a teenager. There's two kinds of guys. There's one guy that gravitates right to the Eddie Van Halen solos and shreds, and he's that guy that you're talking about. And then there's the other guy that learns how to strum the Cat Stevens songs, and that was me, pretty much. I was always like that. So I was never really a backup guitar player. I learned how to play guitar really well to support my songs, but I'm not a session guy.
What about inspiration and sources of inspiration for you, especially with the songwriting part of what you do so beautifully, Darryl? Are you always observing what's going on around you, people, events, things, life, living life to the fullest, and taking some elements of that and essences of that and incorporating it into music? What inspires you to write the music?
Well, I would say that I'm one of those utilitarian songwriters. So what inspires me to actually do it is when I need an album, for my career. If I need an album,
cut to the chase.
These songs get done, and I feel like,
it's probably the first time you heard that, folks. He does it with a purpose.
I feel like there's so many stories. That life is so amazing and wonderful, and I don't really have a journal. I don't journal too much, but I just pay attention to songs and in the stories around me. So I pay attention to the stories, and if something moves me, whatever it is, if it moves me, then it strikes me, well, maybe I can turn that into a song form and move somebody else. And that's the goal, is to move somebody, make something happen with your music,
Are you moved by world events, things like that as well?
To some extent.
As much as you were, in the early years, obviously?
Yeah, not as much as the earlier years. You know, I've lost that kind of activism because I felt like I think I felt like you can get put in a box so easily with that kind of activism. You know, we did a lot of playing peace songs, you know, but in the end, I feel like you can have the same effect by writing a love song and influencing somebody with a love song. I think you can make peace in the world equally with a love song as you can with We Shall Overcome. Well, We Shall Overcome, that's a high bar, but you know what I mean?
That's up there.
I think you can play, you know, if you write with some humanness and some passion and some caring, even if it's a rough story, you know, like I write with Paul Zolo. He's one of my heroes, and I don't know, does sitting down for hundreds of hours with Paul Simon and Bob Dylan and Joni Mitchell make you a great songwriter? Well, in the case of Paul Zolo,
It might add a few elements of such. Yes.
I think it does. So we write a lot of songs together, and I'm very,
What's that like? I mean, that must be, Paul is a class act, a real gentleman, a great guy. He's been a guest on our show. We chat often, and he's just a everyday, authentic, spirited guy who has so much love pouring out of him. What is it like when you get together with him and you start putting heads together and putting things down on paper? That must be incredible.
Well, it's a blessing and an honor to be able to work with him, and he's a poet. You know, he is the word man,
Yeah.
and you know, I'm better with music, so we've found this lane where he writes the words and I write the music, and sometimes we mix it a little bit, but sometimes not at all, and the last record that I put out, Still the Birds, I was just seeing if there's one laying around, but there isn't. Still the Birds is all me and Paul. It's all co-writing with me and Paul. Yeah, he's really he's something, and yeah, he's a great friend and a great writer.
Do you love collaborating with others as much
I
as
do.
writing yourself?
I'm a team player. I love being a team.
Teams. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do love teams as well. You have something. Tell us about the guitar, that beautiful piece of woodwork that's in front of you. And I know you want to play something for us too, which we really appreciate.
Yeah. This is a Taylor. I play all Taylors. I call this tree because there's I don't know if you can see, but there's a tree on the fretboard here, and they made this. This is a custom made guitar that I got from them, and I love what they do with their guitars, and yeah, I love playing these Taylors. And
what would you like to play for us now on that beautiful Taylor?
Why don't I play a song I wrote with Paul Zolo? And I'm going to take off the headphones, and I'll just play this song that I wrote with Paul Zolo. This is one of my favorites. It's about all the different ways that we as people imagine our lives and dream of our lives, and it's just such a different reality. We all have these different realities, and this is called Dreams of Life.
Beautiful.
Hear it? Yeah. Gloria works at the House of Pancakes in the tambourine heart of Vallejo. She stashes her tips in a red coffee can near a photograph of Galileo. Galileo, she dreams of the fountain of youth. Galileo, in prison for telling the truth. She dreams of life, Galileo. Now Hector hides shotguns and ammunition in the trunk of his mother's Camaro. Somehow he got sprung after 36 months. Hard time at Atascadero. Atascadero,
waiting for the mystery train. Tascadero, hanging with the criminally insane. Dreams of life in a Tascadero. Dreams of life. Dreams of life. All of our days only dreams of life. Dreams of life. At noon, Senor Moon runs a victory lap in his cowboy hat and blue tuxedo. The sand in his boots from the beach where he sleeps, just outside of Escondido. Escondido, city of slippery slopes. Escondido, shadowland of shattered hopes. Dreams of life in Escondido. Dreams of life. Dreams of life. All of our days only dreams of life. Heading south on 395 past Temecula, Tijuana. Took a turn at the corner of Staying Alive in a coat she bought with marijuana, just to drown out the siren, the car alarms, just to drown out the squalor, suburban sprawl, just to fall back in somebody's arms, just to drown, just to fall, just to drown, just to fall. Now Eleanor dreams of escaping New Jersey to run with the bulls at Pamplona, in a strawberry robe in the dishwater dusk. She'd settle for Arizona. Arizona, so far from the ice and the cold. Arizona, sun shining like Cuervo gold. She dreams of life in Arizona. All of our days only dreams of life. All of our days only dreams of life.
Really nice, my friend. Really, really nice. When you wrote that, that's right. There we go.
There's got to be a better system.
I'm the host, and I forgot. Do not speak until he puts those earbuds back in his ears, Jim. I'm so excited because of the song being so fantastic.
Thank you, man.
What were you guys thinking about? What was coming to mind a little bit more? Maybe you can expand on it when you wrote such a fantastic song. Really.
Well, Paul wrote the words and I wrote the music. But when I think about the song, I do think about there's this book, the guy that wrote the 4 Agreements, and you can see his book, The Mastery of Love, up there, Don Miguel Ruiz. You know, he talks about in his book, The 4 Agreements, he talks about this idea that we all have our own bubble, our own reality, our own dream. And then when another person enters it, there's another bubble and it's a total other reality, right? So dreams of life, you know, so that's a story, for me, that's a story of the different ways that people live, the different realities we all live in. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for the comments. That's sweet.
Now, the gentleman that wrote the 4 Agreements, he's not connected at all to the guy that wrote the 10 Commandments, is he?
You know,
Maybe.
may-
It may be a source from somewhere, right? Source of
who knows?
inspiration.
You know, there's a lot I don't know about
The
the world,
golden
Jim.
rule. That is funny. Awesome claps. That was great. Beautiful song. Very touching words. Coming in from Canada and Sweden and Pennsylvania and Kansas and all around the world here on the Jim Master Show Live. Our illustrious guest is the incomparable fingerstyle guitarist, singer-songwriter Darryl Purpose, live from Portland, Oregon. You have something else you want to spring our way, my friend?
Sure, to play for you. Sure. Why don't I do mine and Paul's latest song? I've been enjoying this one a lot lately. This is from the voice of a dying Johnny Cash.
Oh boy.
And
Wow.
it is called Song of Crows.
All right. Darryl Purpose.
Every day I yearn for you as I survey these hills and burn for you like lightning burns up this handful of pills. If I could find my 44, I'd bust out of this town just to meet you in El Paso, love, before the sun goes down. You know, I always kept a real close watch on this old heart of mine, but my first kiss upon your lips was sweet as any wine. You kept singing crazy, just like Patsy Cline, and you know I loved you then and there as I walked the line. Sometimes I think I hear fields of goldenrod where the hallelujah wind blows. Sometimes I think I hear the voice of God in the song of crows. Last night I had the sweetest dream of you in angel wings, and all the kids were still just kids back home in Casita Springs. My old voice was young and strong with hunger and desire just to be back home where we belong, beside our ring of fire. Farmhouse, sundown chickens, roosters keeping warm, the old coyotes howling all through the thunderstorm. Still I see your sweet eyes smiling through the falling rain. Deliver me from gravity to ride the midnight train. Sometimes I feel a fear into fields of goldenrod where the hallelujah wind blows. Sometimes I think I hear the voice of God in the song of crows. Now I'm nearing this journey's end, but I'm stuck here in the snow. This old jalopy's broken down, it's time to let her go. I've been around this planet more times than I wanted to. Now I'm frozen in these bones, just dying to be with you, June. I'm dying to be with you. Sometimes I disappear into fields of goldenrod where the hallelujah wind blows. Sometimes I think I hear the voice of God in the song of crows.
the song of crows.
That is really nice. I did it again. I started talking.
It's all right, man.
But it's
You've
worth
got your
saying
people.
twice. I've got my people, my lovities. Now your lovities. Where it's
Yay.
all one. It takes a village, right? I'm so enthralled by this fantastic music that really touches the heart and soul that I want to just dive right in. But now that you got the headphones on, I was saying that it's absolutely fantastic, and there's just something about this particular style of music, the sound, the feeling, the vibe that releases those feel-good endorphins, that sort of lowers the blood pressure, sort of makes things seem maybe a little bit more calmer, maybe a little bit better than they are in certain ways. It's just there's something about the sound, the rhythm, the articulation, the inflection, all of it. That really goes right here quickly. I mean, as soon as you start, it goes right here quickly. At least it does for me.
Thank you, Jim.
What do you hear from others? I'd imagine it's something similar, right? Because music is very healing, which the world really needs a lot of right now. And it's also a universal language.
Yeah, well, in folk music, we play for some small audiences, and we can see into each other's eyes. And in that situation, when you've reached somebody. I just came from a conference, a music conference, the folk music conference in Kansas City, and it was the first time in a couple of years that we'd gotten together and just felt like one musical hug. And I remember there's this one song that is just a friend of mine did. McCain Lakey sang a song called Lake Marie. And it's just, to me, it's an emotional masterpiece. It just makes me feel a lot, a lot about loneliness and sorrow, but about hope and such. And before she played it this weekend at the conference, she invited everybody to just use the next few minutes during the song to feel the loss of the last couple of years, and to feel maybe that person that you love who's far away. And she played the song, and I was a puddle. I just wept and wept and wept. And I think it's just really something when music does that to you, whether you're on this side of the mic or the other side of the mic. It's just I love being in that moment when the music takes over the room and your soul and moves you.
I know you said you hail originally from Los Angeles, California, but you've made your stops in Colorado and now, of course, Oregon, places where nature abounds, beauty and space. And of course, Oregon with the Pacific there, Colorado with its mountains, the Rockies, and then the space. How much does nature come into play for you? Do you ever go out into nature and let it sort of sweep over you? And does it inspire you when you're out amongst nature? Or do you purposely go to nature to try to get some inspiration? How much does nature play a role in any of this that you're doing so beautifully?
Well, I know in 2005, when I bought my house up in the Rocky Mountains, and I actually sat down my guitar for 7 years, and I just proceeded to walk up into those mountains and into those trees, and I knew that something needed to happen in terms of health, in terms of spirituality. And I found my church up there, in those mountains, and it's hard to live at that altitude and not feel like you're in it. You feel like, down here in Portland at sea level, you look up at the sky, but in Colorado at 8,400 feet, you're in it. You're in the sky. You've got these clouds and these things doing, it'll be a bright sunny day, and hail will be falling hard, right there. It's just amazing. So it's a sense of being one with all of that I found. It's very life affirming.
When I was in Denver on a TV shoot, I was in a rental car and we were heading, I believe it was on I-25 going towards, like from Red Rocks towards downtown Denver to meet friends for dinner. And just like you said, a bright sunny day, and all of a sudden, boom, the heavens opened and these golf balls started coming out of the sky. And it was really interesting to see the reaction, because I had never been, again, we're here on, not that it hasn't happened, but I just happened to be maybe indoors. We're here on the East Coast in the Northeast, between New York and Boston, and hailstorms, they've happened, but we've never had, I don't think that I've seen recently, those tremendous epic tennis ball size. But all of a sudden it came out of nowhere, and we're in the, on the interstate. And it's just so interesting to see how everybody just literally comes to a stop on the interstate. Now I'm trying to think how that would ever happen here in the Northeast on I-95 and some of these other highways, how everybody would just, although it did happen in the snowstorm, I think in the Carolinas or Virginia this winter, where they came to a stop. Just imagining how they all sort of, and then you have the guy with the motorcycle who's trying to get under the overpass because he's getting pelted. And it's extraordinary. And I have a friend that lives there in Colorado, and they're accustomed every once in a while to at least $10,000 worth of damage on the car because of the hailstorms that come out of nowhere. It's really epic when you see it. So I grabbed the cell phone, I'm recording it. I'm like, look, we're in the middle of a hailstorm. It's just really something, huh?
It is nature. You can't beat it.
Are you now? There's something that you've been studying, the teachings of, and the beauty of trees, water, and land, and the mountains. Tell us about this. How do you pronounce this?
Thich Nhat Hanh is a Buddhist monk and teacher, and I got a few of his books up there. But I was invited to a retreat with him in the Rocky Mountains, and he's a guy that you really it's really something to be in a room with him. You can just feel the love and the peace and the mindfulness. He's kind of the mindfulness prince, and he was an original inspiration for me, and to eventually develop a meditation practice that I have been pretty regular at lately.
So tell us what it's about. What does it help facilitate? You become like a conduit of energy, I'm sure. What does it actually present for you?
There's so many things, but I think maybe one thing is that I've always struggled with time. I always get a little anxious with around time, and
Not
one of the
enough
things,
time, or
yeah, exactly, and not using your time wisely enough. Am I maximizing my time right now? And the idea with meditation and with Buddhists and with mindfulness is that the idea is to be in the present moment, just no matter what, because that's the only moment that really exists, this present moment right now. The future,
yes,
the in the past are just not worth your energy, and it will take you to some bad places. So it's a little bit about being in the present moment and being good with whatever, you've made a choice to be here. I've made a choice to be here with you. Yeah. I'm not going to think about what I'm not doing right now. I'm going to really enjoy being here with Jim Masters on the internet, on TV. I'm going to, and there's some other things that are a little harder to enjoy, like when you're cleaning the bathroom or something, but you can do that.
It's a rough
too.
one. Yeah.
You can do that too. You can be in the present moment in that situation as well.
Exactly. Absolutely. But you play blackjack, there's no royal flushes, right?
No, there's no royal flushes. The difference between blackjack and poker, poker is more of an art. And I think, with blackjack, we go into the house of the man and we try to beat him at his own game, while
Yes.
all these suits and all these cameras are looking at you, trying to figure out if you're doing exactly what you're doing. And
they can't believe it. Yeah.
There's a kind of a mindfulness, there's a kind of a focus that happens there as well. And for me, when I walk into a casino, it's just a cartoon. I turn it into a cartoon. All these people, I don't think of them as I don't think of them as people. I think of them
They're
as
just stick figures or
cartoon
animated characters.
cartoon characters who, you know, they can either be in my way or can help facilitate what I'm trying to accomplish there. And basically what you're trying to accomplish is just to win a few hands.
So there's Fred Flintstone over there, Barney Rubble over there.
It's like that. Pink Panther behind
Pink
the
Panther
table.
over there. Tasmanian Devil over there.
Right.
That is funny. So are you still doing that? Are you still involved in the world of blackjack?
Not so much, really. Mostly it's about music. And I decided, it was about really just a little less than a year ago, I decided that I wanted to make music for the rest of my life, because I can't see any better use of the rest of my life than to make music and put it out there in the world and hope to make the world a better place. You know, like Pete Seeger says, you know, write a song, the right song at the right time can change the world. And why not go for that? You know,
You have another song for us, my friend, since
Sure.
you're poised there?
Sure. Why don't we sing a song about nature, sing a song about the mountains? This is I'm thinking of this song. This is you know, from my house in Nederland, Colorado. You can look out and see the Continental Divide, and it's quite a view. And I remember when I first got there about 20 years ago, I was sitting there with a neighbor, and we were just looking, you know, in these snow-capped mountains and this just stunning view. And I just seemed so far away, and it seemed so magical and fantastical. And you know, he turns to me and he says, you know, you can walk up there. And I was just like, no way. And he says, yeah. And so for the next 16, 17 years, I did walk up there. And like I say, it became my church. And many years after that, I wrote this. You can walk up there, water bottle and a couple of layers. You can walk up there, I'm just saying. You can reach the top. I know you're afraid of failing, but you can reach the top, I'm just saying. You have exactly what you need. You can give it all away. There is exactly enough time to find the next best step to take. 'Cause you can walk up there, I'm just saying. You can make your way through darkness to black handle. You can make your way, light a candle. You can bring it home. Let yourself be cast off. You can bring it home with the GPS off. Turn it off. You have exactly what you need. You can give it all away. There is exactly enough time to find the next best step to take. You can save your life, or you find yourself in no man's land. You can save your life. Take my hand, take my hand, take my hand. Oh, love yourself. You have exactly what you need. You can give it all away. There is exactly enough time to find the next best step to take. 'Cause you can walk up there, I'm just saying. You
can save your life. Take my hand. You can make your way, light a candle. You can love yourself, don't stop trying. You can walk up there, I'm just saying.
Okay, just took the tape off. Now I could talk. That is fantastic. I love that. And
Thank you, Jim.
so, yeah, the mountains really, the mountains speak to you. Huh? We have a viewer in Pennsylvania who she calls herself Mountain Warrior Zen, and she's Mountain Warrior Jen. So right now she's in the Mountain Warrior mode. They went to Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain. She's Warrior Zen. She is somebody who loves the mountains there of the Allentown, Pennsylvania area. That's where she is in PA.
That's
The
great.
mountains speak to you, huh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I walking across the country on the Great Peace March. You know, we walked over the Continental Divide in Colorado. And that was I was in my 20s. I'd never seen it, and I just thought someday I'm going to come here. I'm going to be here.
First time I saw it, I had no idea what I was looking at. We were with friends. As a matter of fact, it was after the TV shoot there in Denver and Red Rocks, and then we were with these other friends who were from Golden, Colorado, beautiful area, and they're like, "Oh, do you want to see where they make Coors?" So you saw the Coors plant, and then they said we're going to take you to the top of the Mother Cabrini Shrine, which we went to 8,000 feet up, which was beautiful. But then they said, we're going to take you. There's this overpass that goes over the interstate that because it's over the interstate, there's this incredible breathtaking view of the Continental Divide. And they brought us, we pulled off to the side. They pointed in the direction. We got some beautiful shots with us behind it. But when you see it, it's really powerful and incredible to see the Continental Divide.
Oh, it's just the greatest thing in the world. So I lived 16 and a half years with it every day. And I had to pinch myself every day, say, aren't I lucky to live here and look at this? And when I eventually left for no particular good reason, I just thought, well, you know, I'm not leaving this. I will always have it. I'll always take it with me. You know, it'll always be part of me.
Have you had any time on the East Coast here at all over the years?
Sure. Oh, yeah. I've been to 50 states and more countries.
50 states and more countries. I love that. What countries have you had an opportunity to travel to? And are there any bucket list places, Darryl, that you'd love to either visit or tour, work in?
You know, I have traveled so much, Jim, that my bucket list is to spend a little bit of time at home. You know, it's really just late in life that I've had a home because I've traveled so much, whether it's walking across the country, sleeping in a different place every night, or just, sleeping in my truck, singing folk songs for a little while, or just traveling and gambling and going hotel to hotel. I love being at home, but I've been a lot of places, been to the Caribbean quite a lot, and Europe quite a lot. And I have a daughter who's Russian, grew up in Russia, and lives in Denver now. A lot of places. How about you? Do you travel?
Well, one of the things that I do is host a travel TV series.
Oh, that's right.
And about 5 other shows. But that one, we've actually we're on a PBS project. We were in Italy for PBS television, which was something separate. And then we've gone to, with the travel show, we've gone to Greece, we've gone to Germany, we've gone to the Netherlands and England, and love it. One of the great things that we mentioned on this show, I was chatting with one of the guests a few days ago. We were talking about, appreciation of where we live, wherever anybody happens to live, appreciating the bounty of what you might have. And oftentimes we find here in America, sometimes we get a little, I guess, frustrated of how things go. But then all you need to do is really go elsewhere. And sometimes you fall in love with where you go, the people, the culture, the beauty, the music. But then also, while you're having that happen, you also have a reappreciation for what we have here. So I suggest everybody, if they're able to, when they can and when you're able to, go elsewhere and explore and enjoy life
Yeah.
and see if it gives you a reappreciation for home. Because every time I've left and I've gone places outside of the United States for us here, um, you fall in love with those magical places you go to. But then when you get back home, you have a reappreciation for maybe some of
Sure.
the conveniences, the way
Well,
of life, which is amazing.
yeah, there's a lot about our country, and people say, "Oh, I'm going to move to Canada if this happens or if that happens." I say, stay here and help us make it better. Help us improve things. There's a lot of things we can improve on here in the United States, but boy, we got a lot to work with.
We certainly do. Yes, absolutely. How has the last couple of years influenced your music? Or, a lot of the guests have been saying that, especially if they're very busy, where they're always out of the house, they're on tour, they're on stage, they're in studios, they're always, amongst the public, that the last 2 years for them has been a little bit of a reprieve. It's been a breather. They've been able to sort of focus on some things that they've always wanted to do that they never had time to do because they're always chasing, the brass ring and always
Mhm.
having to be everywhere,
Mhm.
and spend time with the family, bake the sourdough bread, do some hobbies they always wanted to do, finish the book, finish the song. How about for you during the last couple of years?
I've been really lucky. I've had a comfortable place to be, and I've had plenty to eat, and plenty of time to read, and catch up on a lot of things that I might not have gotten to, and then in the end, I was led to come back to music, and just say I'm gonna, with no clear path exactly, but almost a year ago, I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do whatever it takes, So I started doing these live streams every Thursday at 5 o'clock from Oregon. I do 3 songs. It's not a big ask for people. They come by and they watch my 3 songs, and that's how it kind of started. And with that, I attracted a booking agent, and now I'm headed to the East Coast in a couple weeks. Actually, I'll be out in your neighborhood. I'll be flying into Boston and
Cool.
making my way around there. Not in Connecticut, no gigs in Connecticut, but
Connecticut or New York or Philly?
actually no, it'd be northeast, and then I'm driving to Ohio. Got some stuff in Ohio.
Oh, cool. So Boston. Yeah. Yeah. We're not far from Boston at all.
And
Yeah.
Vermont, and
Beautiful New England.
New
Yes.
Hampshire. Yeah. I
So
love it.
if people want to learn about that, they can go to your website right there, right?
That is true. Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm on all the platforms that are
Yeah.
destroying the world. All those.
How do yeah,
Find me there.
I'm with you on some of that, coming from a television, radio broadcast background myself. It's, how do you feel about social media and all that? It's a little funky, huh? It's good, and yet it's got its craziness.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know enough. I don't know enough to even discuss it. I just have I watched the movie Social Dilemma just the other day, so
Remember that? Yeah.
I've got that perspective, and I've also I've got this way to. I've been able to really hang out with my people. A niche. The people that love my music and my
Right.
friends and my family, and it's easy to find people, and there's a lot of good things that can happen. Thank you,
Yeah.
Linda.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah.
lot of good things that can happen through social media. So I try to make the best of it. And I think you have to pick your battles. Like there was this Spotify thing recently, and as a under the radar singer-songwriter, I really need Spotify for people to listen to my music. It's very easy for people to
Yeah.
listen to my music, and I don't have any alternatives. If I made a statement by leaving Spotify. If I, help those people who were trying to make a statement by leaving Spotify, well, nobody would notice, so
A little droplet or something of right. Exactly. It's It's interesting because there's these platforms, but so do you feel that there's more opportunity now or less?
I think it's different. That's all. I think, and you know, everybody complains, oh, we used to have CDs, you know, and before that is, oh, we used to have this and that,
Cassette
and
tapes and all that. Yeah.
and it just changes. I think we
We
have a
progress.
pretty rich opportunity for creatives in the world and even in the United States right now. And it's a struggle and you have to work hard. But if you didn't have to work hard, you know, it would get a little crowded out there, don't you think? I mean, I don't know. I trust
True.
I'm an optimist, you know, I'm a
Me
positive
too.
guy, and I trust the system to uh, sort it all out and make lots of mistakes along the way. But eventually, there's a lot of great music that we can listen to, and I've been able to, you know, I've been able to get my music out in the world, and how great is that? You know, it's just wonderful.
That's cool. Good stuff. What are some of those blessings and joys that you experience in your life? You talked about some of them already that keep you sort of moving forward and creating for all of us. Some of the inspirations on a daily basis for you, Darryl.
Well, of course, there's community, and of course, there's nature. We've hit that pretty hard in this hour, which is great. But also, you know, there's you know, to have a mindfulness practice and some kind of spiritual practice. You know, I'm not saying one or the other, but it's very important for me to take 20 minutes in the morning and meditate, and then try to take a little bit of that state, you know, peace of mind and that state of mind throughout my day. And I love, you know, I love books, and I love puzzles, and I love life's pretty good, you know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
tell you, there's somebody here that wants to say hello. He pops in towards the latter part. Mr. George Burns is with us.
Wow. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew?
He's here every night, and he comes in towards the latter part. He's got his cigar and his hanky. He's all dolled up here, and he said you knocked it out of the park, and he thoroughly enjoyed the conversation, the inspiration, the great music, and it's a pleasure meeting you. From Mr. George Burns in the house.
Thank you, George.
Looks pretty realistic, doesn't he? It's got an
He
interesting.
does. He does. His head is almost as big as yours. You need to move closer to the camera.
There it is. He's looking in. He can see down below in your.
Uh-oh. It's a little bit of a mess on my desk here. You can't see my desk.
You're barefoot, huh?
Right? My socks don't match, actually.
Hey, after everything we've been through, they don't have to.
That's right.
It's more creative not to, you know?
That's right.
This was a pleasure, my friend. We said we chat for about an hour. So we did about an hour and 20, which is really nice. And I hope you enjoyed yourself, and we'll keep the porch light on for you. And you're welcome back anytime. I wish you nothing but continued blessings and joy in your life, and keep making that fantastic music for all of us to savor and absorb and enrich our lives. And I hope the show met whatever expectations you had, and you enjoyed the time with me, my friend, as much as I have with you.
I sure did. Thank you so much, Jim.
You are very welcome. You take care, be well, and thanks for spending all this time with us, Darryl. You're the best.
Thanks, Jim. Take care.
Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Darryl Purpose here live on the Jim Masters Show live. Yes, incredible, renowned fingerstyle guitarist, singer, songwriter extraordinaire. Got a chance to learn a little bit more about the man behind the music, which is what we like to do here on the show. We don't just do, you know, a couple of questions here and there. We talk about what drives people, what moves people, so you get an idea of why they do what they do. And then you get a chance to learn a little bit more about yourself through the conversations too, right? Take a look at some of our great comments. And thank you for watching Merlin and Kathleen in New York City, and Mary in Florida. These are some of our regular lovities as well. Jane in Sweden, and Jen, thank you as well. And Sherry Larson, and Paul C., of course. That was fantastic, Jim. Thank you, Darryl. Thank you, Paul. Absolutely. We appreciate your being here as well. Everybody's always welcome. Jen says, Darryl is now a lovity. He sure is. Really cool. Thanks for these great comments and all the enthusiasm. You guys are amazing. Really terrific. Great show tonight. I want to let you know who's with us tomorrow. the one and only Lucy Arnaz. Yes, my friend Lucy is joining us, actress, singer, daughter of Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. She's on tour as well. If you didn't see earlier today, we had the extraordinary Tony-winning actress and singer Joanna Gleason with us. That was an earlier show. So that means when there's two shows on the Jim Master Show Live, we call it a double Lovity Day. The incomparable Joanna Gleason, who you know, she was in West Wing, Friends, Hannah and Her Sisters, Sex and the City, Into the Woods on Broadway, Tony Award-winning, daughter of Monty Hall from Let's Make a Deal. Yes, we talked about Monty too. Really, really cool. And you know me, Mr. Television here. I love talking about the TV stuff. So if you missed that episode that was earlier today, Lucy is tomorrow. And then we have lots of surprises, many more guests. What a cool guy, huh? And did you pick up the vibe too? So relaxed, so easy, conversational. Love conversations like that. He's a true artist. He's a visionary, an entrepreneur, and somebody who really likes touching people through his music. And he does it beautifully. Darryl Purpose joining us here on the show. And again, you can go to his website, darrylpurpose.com, to learn more about all of the incredible things he's got coming up, the things he's working on, the things he's doing. And yeah, check him out on Spotify and everywhere else you can find music. His music is really, really good. And I'm sure it inspired and touched you guys tonight as it has me and us here at the Jim Master Show Live. You guys are the best, really. Thanks for all of the time and attention with the two shows today. And busy day. I have, we're headed up to Massachusetts tomorrow for two television shoots, two separate television shoots that I have on deck. And then back here, this is going to be something. A lot of craziness tomorrow, two TV shoots, and then back here with Lucy Arnaz at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. So it's going to be, I will sleep well tomorrow night. I think I'm going to sleep well tonight too. Jen Barry says, thank you. Two great fun shows. So humbled and thankful for your own personal time you give to us. Love you, Jim. Thank you very much. Jen is Zen in Pennsylvania. I appreciate that. Really beautiful. Sherry in Kansas says, good night all. Sleep well. Sweet dreams. Thank you, Jim, for everything you do for us. You're fantastic. Love and hugs. Huge hugs. Not just hugs. Huge hugs. Thank you. Right back at you, Sherry in Kansas. These are our live Lovity Squad members here. Thank you, Jim Masters, for bringing your brilliance to the conversation. Love your work. Thank you. Veronica Lee, watching in Australia, as she does. Lovity Veronica Lee. We love when you're here as well. And Jane, you take care. And Merlin, you take care as well. And everybody watching around the world. If you're watching live, thanks for being with us live. If you're watching this Memorex, meaning in the archives, recorded, archived on our YouTube channel, thank you for being with us as well. As much as we love everybody who's watching live, we also love those of you who watch the show later on at your convenience, 24/7. Really, really terrific. And Darryl, you are very welcome. I just got Darryl's message. Thank you, Darryl. You are the best, and let's stay in touch, my friend. I hope we get to break bread in person. That would be quite an honor. Gang, if you enjoyed this, give it a like and leave a comment on our YouTube channel as well. We would absolutely love that. Give us a thumbs up. There's a little thumbs up icon there underneath the episode. Give it a like, leave a comment, and if you haven't, hit this red button here, subscribe. There's no cost for that, gang. That just lets us know you're enjoying and appreciate all that we do here on the Jim Master Show Live. Click the notification bell so you never miss any of the episodes and all the content. Almost 700 shows we have done in 2 years. We just had our 2-year anniversary celebration. If you didn't see the 2-year anniversary show, wow, check it out. It's on our YouTube channel, archived for your viewing pleasure. And really, really fantastic stuff. Love it, love it, love it. You know, in that anniversary special, we had a lot of people who were with us as surprise guests, but we also had some of our guests want to send tributes. Here's another musical icon, the music director for Frankie Valli, who joined us in celebrating our 2-year anniversary and almost 700 episodes of the Jim Master Show Live.
Hey, Jim Masters, Robbie Robinson here, Frankie Valli's music director, and we are getting ready to go and do a show tonight. But I wanted to take a minute to say congratulations to a brilliant MC, a brilliant interviewer, and that would be you, Mr. Jim Masters. And congratulations on 2 years of the Jim Masters live show. I had so much fun doing your show. I thank you for asking me to do it. I hope I can have a chance to chat with you again. But again, big time congratulations to Jim Masters on a job well done, brother.
Isn't that cool that he did that on stage while he's with Frankie Valli? He's the music director. And they're getting ready to go on stage, and he took the time to actually do that. Here's Kenny Lee Lewis. He was, wow, he is epic. Not was, he is epic. And well known for being with the Steve Miller Band, the legendary Steve Miller Band. He had these words.
Hey, Jim Masters, how you doing? Kenny Lee Lewis here. Just wanted to say congratulations on 660 shows, man. That's amazing. And thanks for having me and Diane, of course, on your show. The Joker's back. We've been touring all over the country. We just got through doing Las Vegas, and we just did Beach Life in Redondo Beach. We got more coming. So just check the SteveMillerBand.com site to see what's going on. I hear you got Lee Sklar coming on this week. That's fantastic. You got to be the nicest guy in Jersey I've ever met. But thanks a lot for having us and supporting us artists, and keep the show rolling, baby, and keep on rocking. We'll talk to you later.
We're not in Jersey, but we're not far from Jersey. Thank you, my friend. David Becker is another incredible, renowned musician. And you won't believe this. They're actually, he and his wife, Lori, he was a guest too. They're actually in an airport in Barcelona. And he took time to do this for our 2-year anniversary celebration show, which again, if you missed it, it was this past weekend, but it's saved and archived on our YouTube channel. But I mean, some of these incredible guests who we love went through great lengths to send us these beautiful tributes. And some of them are in airports.
Hey everybody, it's David Becker, and I'm coming to you from Barcelona Airport. I want to give a shout out to Jim Masters and say congratulations, Jim, on your 2nd anniversary of the Jim Masters Show Live. It was a great pleasure and honor to be a guest on your show. I look forward to the next time. Take care.
I mean, isn't that so cool? At the Barcelona airport there in Spain, and he took time to do it while they're waiting for the plane to board. That is so cool. Matter of fact, I think he's on the plane. It seemed like he was on the plane, maybe in first class there. Rob Dames is somebody who is so known for incredible film music, television music, and just an incredible body of work in the music industry. Created some of your favorite TV themes and lots more. He sent this very funny clip in. Again, if you want to see these and many, many more, just go back and scroll through our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, and look for the episode that says 2-year anniversary celebration with surprise guests and epic memories and tributes. Rob was very funny with this one. Again, a prolific person in the music industry, prolific in terms of the amount of content that he is responsible for in film and in television and so much more. He's just a gem, and here's what he had to say.
Hi, I'm Rob Dames, and I had the interview of being interviewed on Jim Masters TV. Now Jim is celebrating 2 years of success. Well deserved. I certainly enjoyed my time being interviewed, and you made me sound good. And that's more your interviewing skills than anything I had to say. But I'm equally honored to be singled out to talk about... What? 660? You mean there were 659 people before me? Well, that takes the bloom off of things, doesn't it? Still, congratulations. Continued success. I'm going to have a drink.
Well done, Rob Dames. Well done. Our buddy Glenn Scarpelli, who's been with our show several times, is a great friend. He had these words.
Hey, Jim Masters and everyone at the Jim Masters Show. I just want to say happy, happy anniversary. 2 years. That is such an accomplishment. You give so much love and light out to the universe on a daily basis. We so appreciate you. I love always being on the show. As you know, we have such incredible conversations, and they truly live in my heart, and so do you. Happy anniversary. Almost 700 episodes. Wow! So to everyone at Lovity Hall and to all the brilliant people, including you, Jim Masters, that shine so much light, happy anniversary.
Thank you, Glenn. So cool. And there's many, many more folks. You can see them during our episode, which was our celebration episode, which was really, really beautiful. And we'll try to sprinkle in some more as we go along during the week. Some really beautiful guests have shared some really beautiful moments with all of us and with all of you. So Jane in Sweden says, the anniversary show was great. It sure was, wasn't it? Thank you, Jane in Sweden. And Austin Field says, another wonderful show. Please subscribe for great content. Thank you, Austin Field. You're a subscriber, and I really appreciate that. And that is so true. And I appreciate your being a supporter and one of our Lovities as well here at Lovity Hall. He watches all the time. And have a great night. Good night, all. Kathleen Walker, another Lovity. Yes, we had time to eat. Yes, we did. We had chicken and we had mac and cheese. We had some macaroni and cheese, all made from scratch. The chicken and the macaroni and cheese were made from scratch, and it was delicious with some Trader Joe's pink lemonade that I seem to be famous for here on the Jim Masters Show Live. Thank you very much. Jen Berry says, this is so cool. Everyone's sending in their videos. Shows how much we love you, Jim. Jen show, bring us all together. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's one of the goals, is to bring us all together, my friend. And if you didn't see that anniversary episode, check it out on the YouTube channel. All right. This was really fantastic. Thank you very much. And thank you again, Veronica Lee, for your... thank you for bringing your brilliance to the conversation. Love your work. Thank you, Veronica Lee. I appreciate that. And everybody, you're the best. All right. So we got a busy day. So we're going to sign off for now. But there's many episodes you can watch and enjoy here on the Jim Masters Show Live series right here on our YouTube channel. We love you all. Be well. Take care of one another. Be good to one another. And yeah, we always have a good time on this show, right? We always have a cool time on this show. We never know where it's going to go, and it always goes in the right direction, and we love that. So we don't say goodbye, as you guys know, as regulars. We say see you later, ciao, cheers, hasta la vista, sayonara, shalom, sláinte, and auf Wiedersehen. But we don't say goodbye. Basically, we say see you later, because we'll be here for the next episode. Chicken and mac and cheese. Nice. What did you have? Bologna on white bread again? You probably did, Merlin. A quick supper. All right, gang. We love you all. Thanks for watching this episode of the Jim Masters Show Live. Thanks to Darryl Purpose for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. If you're watching live, if you're not watching live, stay right there. Another great episode comes right up, designed for your viewing pleasure. I knew it. Bologna on white bread. It gets us. There's nothing more simple. All right. There's no bologna here on the Jim Masters Show Live. All right, gang. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching this episode. We love you all. Take care. Be good to one another. Love one another. And thanks for enjoying this episode of the Jim Masters Show Live. We're going to fade to black soon, but don't go anywhere, because there's another episode you can watch coming up next just for you. Take care, gang. We love you. Cheers.